costs of buying a home in Alberta. Now, we all know that you have to have a down payment, but what other things are there involved or that you need to be aware of when buying your home? By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear idea of all the costs associated with buying real estate. So you can focus more on the fun stuff, like looking at homes. If you're excited to hear this, give this video a like and hit the subscribe button because I'll be coming out with more tangible information and tips that you can walk away with and start implementing no matter where you are in the home buying process. As a realtor and mortgage broker for the last 10 years, I've been through the process hundreds of times. So I believe that with the right education, you'll be able to minimize your risk, understand the financial aspects of buying a home, and it will be more of a stress-free experience. Even though I'm based here in Calgary, Alberta, these expenses are gonna be the same no matter which province you're in. Now, the biggest difference is that Alberta and Saskatchewan do not have a land transfer fee. In order to find out what your province's land transfer fee is, check with your local municipality. So let's get right into it. There are about 10 costs that you need to be aware of, and this covers both the mortgage and real estate side of things. Cost number 1, down payment. Now, if the home is $500,000 or less, the minimum requirement is 5% down. You'll need an additional 10% on a home between $500,000 up to $1 million. And anything over $1 million, you're gonna have to check with your lender to see what their lending guidelines are. A gifted down payment is okay if you're looking to buy a place for you to live in, and there is no limit on how much that you can receive. If you're looking to buy a rental property, only some lenders will accept a gifted down payment. So you wanna make sure you check with your mortgage broker or your banking institution to find out what their rules are surrounding gifted down payments for income properties. Cost number 2, mortgage default insurance. Now, this insurance is separate than homeowner's insurance. It's required if you're putting less than 20% down, and it allows people with less than 20% down to purchase a home. The premiums are different depending on how much you put as a down payment, but they typically go down as you go up in increments of 5% all the way up to 20%. So for example, your insurance premiums at 19% down payment is going to be less than if you were to put 5% down payment. This insurance is really there to protect the lender in case the borrower goes into default. This is an expense that's added to your mortgage, so it's not something you have to pay upfront. Cost number 3, home inspection. Home inspections are important because not only will you know if there's any defects with the property, but if there is, and trust me, there's no such thing as a perfect home, even in new builds, then you can go back to the seller and ask them for either a discount off the purchase price or get them to fix the deficiencies. Now, condos typically cost between $275 to about $300, townhomes $425 to $475, and single family homes starting at $450 and they go up to about $550 or so depending on the size of your home. Cost number 4, an appraisal. Now, an appraisal is different than a home inspection because an appraisal is a property valuation to see what a home is worth. It's typically required by your lender or the mortgage default insurer, and the reason why this is required is because the lender is lending you funds based on your security, and that security is your home. So they need to see what the value of that asset is. Cost number 5. Now, this only applies if you're buying a property that's structured as a condo ownership. And what this does is it's a review of all the documents to be able to show you what the financial and physical health of the building is. You can dive into seeing if there's enough money in the reserve fund to be able to pay for immediate and future expenses. The cost of this is usually around $450 to $500. So I've gone through about half of the costs of buying a home. Did you guys have any questions? Do you need any clarification on anything? Let me know in the comments below. Cost number 6, lawyer fees. Now, lawyer fees typically break down into 2 separate parts. The first part is the fee that the lawyer charges for their service, usually around $650 to $1,000. And the second part of it is for disbursements. Disbursements are things like pulling and searching legal documents and for office expenses. You're looking at around $1,500 on average, but the cost does go up if the cost of the home is higher. Cost number 7, title insurance. Now, title insurance is insurance that protects the homeowner against any problems or defects related to your title. Your lawyer and your lender will let you know if it's required because it's something that the lender may need, and it's a one-time cost of about $350. Cost number 8, real estate fees. Now, typically in Alberta, the seller takes care of the commissions for both the listing agent and the buyer's agent. Commissions is 3.5% on the first $100,000 and 1.5% on the remaining balance. It's important for you to understand what your realtor works for, because even though most sellers pay the 3.5% and 1.5%, some do not. This is a conversation to have with your realtor before you start looking for homes, just to make sure that you both are on the same page. Cost number 9, home insurance. Now, if you're buying a home that's structured as a condo ownership, fire insurance is included in the condo fees. But it's important that you also have personal coverage for everything else. For example, you want to make sure you're covered for any water leaks that might happen from your condo. As of January 1st of 2020, the Condo Property Act regulations state that any owners are responsible for up to $50,000 of the condo board's insurance deductible if there was damage originating from their unit. So it's important to make sure that you're covered for up to the $50,000 with your policy. The average premiums if you owned a condo is around $60 a month. If you own a home, you're typically looking at an average of about $150 per month. Cost number 10, life insurance. If you're a salaried employee, you're going to be covered through work, but it's typically not enough to cover the entire mortgage and or your other liabilities. It's important to talk to your insurance broker to determine what your monthly premiums are going to be. And there's a wide variety of factors involved, such as your age, your occupation, and your current health status. When you're young and single, it may not seem like a necessary expense, but as you add family members, then it becomes more important. Think about this. 1 in 5 families would experience financial difficulties immediately if the primary wage earner died suddenly. So imagine your spouse passes away, and not only would you have to deal with the mourning and loss of your spouse, but you also have to think about packing and moving if your family cannot afford to make the mortgage payments. So you want to make sure your mortgage is protected in the event of death or disability. So there you have it. 10 costs of buying a home. Was this helpful? Did you guys get some value out of it? I hope so. It doesn't matter where you guys are in the country. I want to be able to help you have a better home buying experience. So use me as a mortgage and real estate resource. It's always better to ask a human rather than Googling something and getting misinformation or not current information. So if you have any questions or you're not clear on something, throw it down in the comments below. If you're thinking about buying condo buildings in Calgary, check out my condo tours here. If you want more valuable advice, hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you're notified when my next videos come out. My name is Felix Chan with the LiveInnerCity real estate team, helping you keep real estate simple. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.